Hi everybody, welcome back to another royal news video. So you'll be happy to know we're going to start off the video talking about the real royals and what a glorious and beautiful day it was yesterday, where there were tea parties galore all around the country to mark the start of the next 4 days of celebrations for VE Day. So many incredible photographs and clips from the flypast, which was spectacular as they flew over Buckingham Palace to mark the 80th anniversary, because on the 8th of May it will be exactly 80 years that Sir Winston Churchill stood outside Downing Street and declared victory over the bad guys. I have to say the bad guys because YouTube gets a little bit sensitive with its algorithms. It doesn't like certain words. Thousands of people had gathered in London yesterday to watch the parade down the Mall, which was then followed by the amazing red arrows and other RAF aircraft as they flew over the royals standing on the balcony, who paid their respects to the incredible men and women who changed the face of the Second World War with their sacrifices. The cenotaph was draped in the Union flag, and actor Sir Timothy Spall read parts of Sir Winston Churchill's victory speech stood beneath his statue. There were over 30 World War II veterans who attended, including ex-RAF veteran Alan Kennett, who is 100 years old and who started off the procession from Parliament Square and said that he is incredibly proud to still be here. The royal family all took their seats at the end of the Mall, those with military appointments wearing their uniforms as they sat alongside some very special guests, like Centurion Bernard Morgan, who was the youngest RAF sergeant to land on D-Day. He is an ambassador to the Royal British Legion, and we often see him at any commemorative events, especially when it comes to the royal family. He had taken along some photographs that he shared with the Princess of Wales, who then passed them down to her eldest two children, who genuinely seemed fascinated. Queen Camilla looked to be enjoying herself with the veterans and was seen giggling away, looking lovely in a blue dress coat. Prince Louis was particularly adorable as he helped tidy up his father's uniform and listened intently as William explained various parts of the parade to him. Our little boss baby was keeping himself entertained when he copied his older brother, which was captured on camera, who was trying to tame his hair in the wind. The little prince does the exact same move as his older brother, just with a little bit of added pizzazz. The entire family looked fabulously dressed. The Duchess of Edinburgh was wearing a pink gingham dress, and some people didn't like it. I thought she looked absolutely gorgeous, borrowing Lady Louise's headband. Or it might have been that Lady Louise had previously borrowed her mother's. Sophie always looks beautiful in any colour really, but pink really does pop on her, and actually the gingham print matches the band on Prince Edward's hat. Our lovely Princess of Wales was wearing her gorgeous Amelia Wickstead coat dress and was also wearing a gold-winged RAF brooch as tribute to her grandfather Peter Middleton, who was a fighter pilot in World War II, and as some of you already know, he was also Prince Philip's co-pilot on his 1962 tour of South America. Their families were connected long ago before their love story even began. The children were of course dressed perfectly as they always are, and our not so little princess, who just celebrated her 10th birthday, has won the genetic lottery and has her mother's glorious hair. The amount of hairstyles that you can do with hair like that must be never ending, and you know, I'm not jealous at all, not one little bit. Now, Prince William has just proved what I always say, and that man is aging like a fine wine. He looked completely gorgeous in his RAF No. 1 uniform, and I even spotted another rather handsome face sitting in the crowd several spaces back from him. Yes, it's the dashing Lieutenant Johnny Thompson, the King's private secretary, his former super equerry, and of course he was also equerry to Queen Elizabeth II. Yes, Carla, you are correct. My Johnny radar is most definitely still working. The king gave the salute to many regiments and personnel from allied countries including the US, Germany and France, who joined the 1,300 members of the UK Armed Forces. And there was a slight detail that you may or may not have noticed, and that is no members of the royal family, including the king, were wearing any of their medals or their decorations. This was a decision made by His Majesty as to reflect a choice by his grandfather, King George VI, who wore no medals or decorations as they celebrated on the balcony of Buckingham Palace alongside the public on the 8th of May 1945. After the parade had finished, the royals gathered on the balcony to watch the flypast, which made for some amazing photographs, seeing them all up there together, but especially of the Wales family, who looked rather animated as they followed the aircraft. Everybody lean to the left. Catherine and William looked down proudly at their children several times throughout the day, with Prince Louis providing some of the added entertainment, much to his mother's delight. I honestly find that little boy adorable, and he's so funny. Everyone is always laughing at Prince Louis, and I get very upset when I see people being unkind and cruel about him, saying that he's being naughty and he's misbehaving. He's just those several years younger than his older siblings, and I think he behaved perfectly well at an event which some children would find completely boring. But what troubles me more is the number of people that compare him to Prince Harry. I can assure you, hand on heart, I'm certain of this, with Catherine and William as their parents, there is no way that any of those children are going to turn out like Harry. In fact, I don't believe that any of the younger generation will turn out like that toxic traitor. But hey, let's not sully the video just yet. We were having a perfectly nice time. After the balcony, the royals then went to a tea party held in the Veterans' Honour at Buckingham Palace, where everyone looked to be in good spirits, especially the king, who was clearly in a great mood as he chatted with the many guests. But it also turned out that this was going to be a very big day for our 11-year-old future heir to the throne, Prince George, who had asked to accompany his parents to the tea party. Both Catherine and William couldn't have looked prouder at their eldest son, who reportedly chose to do this as he enjoyed speaking with some of the veterans earlier in the day so much that he wanted to continue chatting. Look how confident he is. He is growing up to be a lovely young man, and I love that they haven't pushed him into doing this. This was his choice, and I think that really shows. All three children are an absolute delight to watch at any of the royal events, and their individual personalities are shining through as they get older. I am in no doubts that the future of the monarchy is definitely in good hands, and no whiny, entitled, arrogant, spoilt, bitter man-child is going to change that, despite his latest round of attacks on his family, and I would say more predominantly his father. In fact, I've got some breaking news for you. There has been some footage released of Prince Harry trying to make his way back inside the palace grounds after his latest explosive tantrum against his family. In more breaking news, Meghan Markle was captured on camera last night trying to sneak her way into the Met Gala because it would seem again that her invite was lost in the post. Sorry, I'm just entertaining myself at this point. But in a story that's not funny, it's rather sad. Today is reportedly Archie's birthday, his 6th birthday, and his father is jet-setting and is going to be away. I think this makes it the 3rd or 4th year that Harry has chosen to spend his son's birthday somewhere else. This time, the absentee father is going to Las Vegas, and hopefully this time he will be keeping his clothes on, because that's a story I certainly don't want to bring to you. Harry is reportedly launching a new investment initiative that's teamed up with the Diana Awards. I told you guys, didn't I, that Harry is little more than a high-profile salesman for hire these days. But the thing is, who would buy anything that this man is selling? It's hilarious that a man born into immense wealth and privilege is now encouraging people into investments. Harry has probably never even opened a bank account by himself, and he's also not someone I'd ever want to listen to with regards to financial investments, even if it is going towards a good cause. But as for him being away from his child's 6th birthday yet again. He's not a baby anymore and he will remember. Much like Harry keeps telling us, the pain and the suffering that he endured as a child because his father was often absent. But there's a very big difference between the then Prince Charles being absent and Harry. Prince Charles and of course Princess Diana, they were the Prince and Princess of Wales. They had responsibilities and duties. They had to carry out things on behalf of the crown, on behalf of the Queen. Harry does not have any type of responsibilities. He could choose to spend any day that he wants with his child, and likewise I'm sure that Harry can pick and choose when and where he makes his appearances, especially for the Diana Awards. But this is where I have a theory. And my theory is that today, the 6th of May, is not Archie's real birthday. Remember all of the games and the palaver and the secrecy surrounding his birth? Certain things never added up. They kept the hospital secret, the doctor's secret. They created quite the drama around hiding their son's birth. They said it was about safety, but I honestly don't believe that because all of the other royal children before them were perfectly safe at the hands of being delivered by some of the best doctors, the Queen's doctors, in the entire world. So it's my belief that Archie, and this does make sense, was born several weeks earlier. And I'm not talking because of they were married 3 days before the big wedding that was put on for the world. I'm talking about this clip.
Everyone says that babies change so much over 2 weeks. We're basically sort of monitoring how the changing process happens over this next month, really. I mean, parenting is amazing. It's only been, what, 2.5 days, 3 days?
Yeah. I honestly believe Harry had a bit of a slip up in that moment. Listen, it makes sense. He's always away for his child's birthday, and for someone that talks about the importance of fatherhood and bleats on about that his father was never there for them, I mean, it just seems a bit weird, isn't it, that you'd be away from your kid's birthday 4 years in a row. Not only that, when you think back to them coddling the baby so much you couldn't even tell if it was a reborn doll or not. Now, whilst I believe that this was definitely a doll, I do not believe that they presented a doll to the world. I mean, each to their own, and I have no problem with anyone else that's got their theories on it. This is just mine. I believe that they wrapped Archie up like that and didn't want to turn him to the camera. They were very funny about it, even when the reporter said, "Can we see him?" Because they knew that that was not a 2-day-old baby. There is a difference between a 2-day-old and a 2-week-old baby, and I think that they were trying to hide that from the public. That's why Harry doesn't care that he's away on the 6th of May yet again, but he's just too slow to cotton on to the fact that the public are beginning to find that highly suspect. 3 to 4 years in a row, and he doesn't seem to care that he's with his son on his special day. Harry and Meghan have played games with those children from the moment that they were born, and in many cases I think from the moment Meghan announced her pregnancy. And I believe this photograph, this latest photograph that she posted, is a way to try and further hurt the king. Aside from the fact that this has some shocking Photoshop on it, I would suggest that Harry seeks medical assistance for his ankle because that does indeed look rather painful. It was seen by many as a giant middle finger to the king, to the royal family and to the public. It's much like their wedding photo where it was the backs of them. This is what Meghan likes to do. She believes that it's a message to people. And yes, if Meghan believes that that is a giant middle finger to everybody, that's up to her. You know, she seems to think it's a case of, look what you could have won, look what you've lost. And I'm sorry, we haven't lost anything. And we, royal watchers, royal fans, won many years ago, as did the royal family. And that was because William, thankfully, was born first. Harry is not needed, and he's certainly no longer missed. So guys, on that note, I will be back with you guys very soon. Take care for now. See you soon. Bye.